Hey there guys, Ryder here. Today we're going to be discussing my new account, InGameOnly. It's going to be a series. I'm going to call it maybe Lost in Gielinor. Pretty creative, I know. Lost is the essential word for the series title here. It's called Lost in Gielinor and the account is called InGameOnly because I plan to be an Iron Man restricted to only being inside the game. Now you're probably thinking, Ryder, are you stupid? Everyone's only inside the game, right? Well, yes, but not really. When you play Old School Runescape, there should be two things you always have open. Maybe three. The first, RuneLight. Maybe the default client if you're a psychopath. The second, an internet page, ideally for the Wikipedia, to look up everything you need to know about the game. And third, probably The Office, Netflix. Not a requirement, but a luxury. One of these things is what I want to discuss though. And that's the concept of guides, the Wikipedia, YouTube videos showing you how to do stuff in Old School RuneScape. I love them. They're fantastic. I think we all love them, and I think we all probably use them. The problem is, I think I've come to use them as a clutch. A crutch? That's the word I'm looking for. As a crutch. And it's not something I want. So I wanted to restrict myself. And I didn't want to do what Swampletics or Jimmy do and lock myself out of content. Because I'm still pretty... I've played a lot of this game, but I have not done any in-game content. I haven't done a lot. I mean, I've gotten to like level 90 combat, but I don't see a point of locking myself out of things I haven't done. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use guides at all. This is going to be an account that is purely based in-game. Any information I use will have to be acquired from in-game. So I'm crying here because this concept is, one, not only awful, but two, I forgot my flower pot. This is the kind of things you can expect on a very regular basis from this series. As you can see, I have quite successfully acquired all of the ingredients needed to create a perfect cake. A pot of flour, a bucket of milk, an egg shoved haphazardly into my backpack. All of these things are very important to the lumbered chef, and I'm going to bring him to him. But first, I'm going to beat the ever-living hell out of this imp and acquire a mind talisman. It's very important for the integrity of this account. Very important. So here we are, completing Cook's Assistant, and then kind of planning ahead. I knew from experience, I've done Recipe for Disaster, I knew what items I needed for the first part. Dirty Blast, Greenman's Ale, Eye of Newt. So here's the way I rationalized it. Eye of Newt, easy as pie. Greenman's Ale? Fuck. I don't know how to brew an Old School RuneScape. I don't know how to do that. What cooking level is it? Much higher than I want to go. But that's fine. 30s, nothing. Pretty easy. I can figure out brewing. Dirty Blast? Pretty sure it's just some kind of cocktail with ashes in it. Pretty easy. Not too bad. Head to the gnome place. Get sorted. First thing I had to do was level my cooking up a little bit, which is what brought me to the lumberage pasture to slaughter some cows. If you're watching closely, you might be able to tell that it is in fact the cow slaughtering me, than me slaughtering the cows. I've killed a few, but my HP is quite low, and I do not appreciate that. Obviously, this is not desirable. I cook some of the cow meat, burn the majority of it, and decide I need a new tactic. So we scout the cooking catalog again. And after a bit of browsing, I avoid fish at all costs because I hate fishing, and stumble upon the holy grail of low-level cooking. Baked potatoes. But first I had to kill a few chickens because they were on the way. Cooking the chickens yielded not much XP, but I think it did yield enough to make baked potatoes, which is great. Caught the potatoes, a real hard catch, cooked the potatoes, burnt the majority, reached the cooking I needed for the blast and other things, then decided I was going to go investigate. You could see myself armed with now a bronze spear and a clue scroll. A couple seeds, some wool. Those are from slaughtered imps, slaughtered goblins. We're going to do the clue scroll next episode. Don't worry. Making cocktails was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I did not think it was going to be click one thing, cocktail done. It is. Not too shabby, I must add. Excited to become a cocktail master in episode 15. Here we are back in the Lumbridge Castle, talking to our friend the chef, and he's telling us about this banquet. He's starting us on a recipe for disaster, and it's a journey I'm down to get behind. However, he did tell me that Greenman's Ale could be found at Castle Wars. I went to Castle Wars, and this dude just had a bunch of colored armor. So I headed to Yanil, at the tavern there, not sure what it's called, found the very gracious owner who sold me Greenman Ale for like 10 GP or something. Bought it. Very happy that I did not have to learn the intricacies of old school RuneScape brewing. Finished up the dirty blast by dumping some ashes in a perfect like a drink. Bought an eye from a lady who has an abundance. And headed back to the Lumbridge Castle to turn in the quest. Which brings us here to the Duke's secret feast. A meeting populated by the famous of Gielinor. People and adventurers such as yourself is bound to have met countless times during their adventures. Because who would start a master quest if they haven't considered themselves a master? Me. I would. I like to imagine that this is the Avengers of old school RuneScape, at least in its early years. All of these quests your characters run around and completed and done, and all these people you've met all together for one big crossover quest. Pretty cool. But for in-game only, he's got no clue what's going on. What the hell's an ogre doing at dinner? There's a monkey running around the table? 2 goblins in 1 seat? Who the hell thought that was a good idea anyway? Not quite sure. But this feast does give me a chance to discuss something. And that's what I want from this account. So, as I said earlier, it's gonna be one of those restricted Ironman. I'm not restricting content. I'm restricting guides. So you could expect to see me do everything that a normal account would do. Well, maybe, if I know about it. But you can also expect to see a lot of failures. I'm not going to claim to be a savant at this game, and I'm not going to claim to have any idea about eating mechanics, tick eating, all that stuff. Anything about game mechanics, I don't know about. On my main account, I just managed to beat Vorkarth for the quest, and I haven't even finished Dragon Slayer 2 yet. But with this account, I think I can do it without a guide. It may have taken me 9 tries to beat Vorkarth the first time, but this is different. It's bound to work, right? I really like the idea of this account, and I'm really excited for a lot of the implications it brings. I've never seen somebody restrict themselves from guides completely in every aspect of the game. Clue scrolls are another thing I love, and I can't wait to try and suffer my way through each and every one with no knowledge of all except what the clue scroll says. Sounds pretty cool. Sounds awful. I might be a masochist. I guess we're gonna find out. Anyway, you can see my guys decided to intervene in the event here right about the time the Gielinor, whatever his name is, shows up to mess up the party. This is where stuff gets real. My character's thrown into something, and he's got no clue what. Why is he spared? I'm not sure. Maybe luck, maybe destiny, maybe because it's a video game. Either way, we've got a big mission in front of us, and I hope you guys want to join it for me. With me. Or for me. Please, take over the account. Hey guys, if you made it all the way through the video, it means a lot to me. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you subscribe so you can tune in for the next one. Have a great day.